Okay, so we're diving deep into the red pill in marriage today.
Sounds intense.
It is. It really is. And, we're focusing on this book. You've been reading the red pill dating approach. You had a ton of notes and highlights about covert contract.
Yeah, that was a big one for me.
Right, those unspoken expectations. That can really mess things up if you're not careful.
Absolutely. It's like you think you're on the same page, but then, bam, you're not.
Exactly. So let's start there with
Yeah.
the book's take on what it calls the crisis of masculinity. What's the deal with that?
Well, the book argues that traditional masculine virtues have been kind of tossed aside,
Okay.
It talks about how cultural Marxism has played a role, like how men are portrayed in the media all weak and incompetent.
Yeah, you see that everywhere, the man-child trope.
Right, exactly. And it makes men unsure of their place,
Okay.
Especially in a marriage where the roles are all kind of blurry these days.
I get that.
Yeah.
But isn't it a good thing that those roles are becoming more flexible? I mean, come on.
Sure, the book acknowledges that. It's not about going back to the 1950s or something. But it does say that men still need a clear purpose within a marriage, even if it looks different than it did for our dad.
Makes sense. So how does the book suggest men navigate all this? I see you highlighted a lot about self-reliance and discipline.
Yeah, that's huge. The book says those are like the cornerstones of true masculinity. Feeling empowered.
Okay, but how do you actually put that into practice?
It gives some cool examples, like Warren Buffett and his approach to investing.
Warren Buffett. What does he have to do with marriage?
It's about the mindset.
Yeah.
Buffett's all about patience and discipline, waiting for the perfect opportunity, not just jumping into risky stuff.
So you're saying guys should apply that to their relationship?
Exactly. Think about it. Managing your money responsibly, setting boundaries at work so you can be present with your wife, choosing your words carefully during an argument. It's all connected.
I'm starting to see it. That kind of discipline could bring a lot of stability.
Exact stability for you and for the marriage.
Okay, so we've got discipline. Now let's talk communication.
Yeah.
That's got to be key for figuring out those covert contracts, right? What does the book say about that?
Well, it's big on assertiveness, but not aggressive. There's a difference.
Huge difference.
Right. And it talks about nonverbal cues, which is fascinating because so much of communication is unspoken.
True. And what about all the digital stuff these days? That's a whole other minefield.
You got it. The book really dives into navigating dating apps and social media. Even within a marriage, those things can cause problems.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So the book says couples need to be upfront about their boundaries and expectations around all that digital stuff.
Yeah, if you don't talk about it, it's bound to create tension.
Exactly. It's not just about setting rules, though. It's about the why behind those rules. Having those deeper conversations about trust and security in the relationship.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
So you've got discipline, you've got communication. But life isn't always smooth sailing, right?
Mm-hmm.
What about overcoming adversity? I see you highlighted a lot about that, too.
Yeah, the book's big on embracing failure. Seeing it as a stepping stone to success, like Elon Musk. He's had tons of setbacks with SpaceX and Tesla. But look at him now.
Okay, but that's Elon Musk. Most of us aren't launching rockets into space.
True, but the principle's the same. It's about the mindset.
So how do you apply that to everyday life? Like if you have a financial crisis or a big fight with your spouse?
It's about reframing those setbacks. Instead of seeing them as defeats, see them as feedback. So you messed up your budget. Analyze what went wrong. Adjust the plan. Try again.
So it's that resilience, that ability to bounce back.
Exact. And it applies to conflict in marriage too. Disagreements are going to happen, but it's how you handle them. The book encourages couples to use those moments to understand each other better, not get stuck in blame and resentment.
So you're saying turn those fights into opportunities to strengthen the relationship.
Precisely. Now, this is all pretty intense stuff, right? All this self-improvement and challenge conquering.
It is. And it's easy to get caught up in the doing and forget about living. Does the book address that at all?
It does. It talks about work-life balance and the importance of self-care.
Okay, because that's crucial. You can't pour from an empty cup.
Exact. The book gives examples of super successful people who still prioritize the things they enjoy, even with crazy schedules.
It's about finding that sweet spot between striving for more and actually enjoying the life you're building.
Precisely. It's about creating a life that's both successful and sustainable.
And fulfilling.
Yes, and fulfilling. Which brings us to another big theme, physical fitness.
Why does the book put so much emphasis on that? I mean, we all know exercise is good for you.
It goes deeper than that. It's about the link between physical and mental strength. The book talks about how exercise helps manage stress, improves your overall well-being.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
But isn't that pretty common knowledge?
Maybe. But the book gets into the science of it, how exercise reduces stress hormones and releases endorphins.
Right, those feel-good chemicals.
Exactly. It can seriously impact your mood and even your brain power.
So it's not just about looking good, it's about feeling good too.
And when you feel good physically and mentally, you're better equipped to handle everything life throws at you.
Including those relationship challenges.
Exactly. It's all connected.
I see that now. It's like this positive feedback loop. Taking care of your body strengthens your mind.
Right.
Which then strengthens your relationship.
That's the idea.
Okay, so we've covered a lot. Self-reliance, discipline, communication, resilience, work-life balance, physical fitness. It's a lot to take in.
It is, but it's all building towards something.
Okay.
A strong sense of purpose. The book says men need to identify their passions and align their goals with something bigger than themselves.
That sounds pretty abstract.
Yeah.
How do you actually do that within a marriage?
Think about it. What kind of husband do you want to be? What kind of father? What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind?
So it's about finding meaning and purpose within your family and relationships.
Exactly. And the book says when men have that sense of purpose, they're more confident, more motivated, more engaged in their relationship.
I can see that. If you're lost in your own life, it's hard to be a good partner.
Right. And the book gives practical advice on how to cultivate that purpose, like identifying your core values, setting goals that align with those values, finding ways to make a positive contribution to the world.
Through your work, your relationships, your community.
Exactly. It's about creating a life that truly matters.
So we've covered a lot of the foundational stuff from the red pill dating approach. And I'm starting to see how these ideas can help create a stronger, more fulfilling marriage.
Absolutely. But there's more to unpack.
Yeah, we've only just scratched the surface. There's a lot more to explore when it comes to applying these concepts to specific challenges within a marriage, especially those covert contracts.
Definitely. We'll dive into that next time.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. So let's dig into those covert contracts, those unspoken expectations.
Now, that's where things get really tricky because we often don't even realize we have them.
Yeah,
I know.
it's like they're running in the background of our minds.
Exactly. And the book says those expectations often come from societal norms and gender roles, stuff that's been passed down for generations.
Exactly. Like that old idea that the wife takes care of the house and kids while the husband focuses on work.
That classic division of labor.
Yeah.
You still see it a lot, even today.
And the problem is it's often not discussed. It's just assumed.
So resentment builds up because one person feels like they're doing all the work.
Exactly. It's like playing a game where the rules keep changing, but no one tells you the new rules.
That's a great analogy. So how do you even start to untangle that mess?
Communication, that's the key. The book says couples need to have those tough conversations about their expectations, their needs, their desires.
Easier said than done, though.
Right.
How do you bring that stuff up without starting a fight?
It's about empathy and understanding, not blame.
So instead of you never do the dishes, it's more like, I'm feeling overwhelmed with all the housework.
Exactly. It's I statements, expressing your feelings and needs.
Instead of attacking your partner.
Right. It's about working together to find a solution.
A win-win situation.
Exactly. And these conversations need to happen regularly, not just once.
Because life changes.
Right.
Your needs and expectations change too.
So you got to keep talking, keep adjusting, keep renegotiating those covert contracts as you go.
Now, the book also talks about the history of marriage, how it's evolved over time.
Right. This is where it gets really interesting, especially for your audience.
Yeah, I mean, understanding the past helps us make sense of the present. So what's the book's take?
It says marriage has been massively impacted by cultural shifts, like feminism and what it calls cultural Marxism.
Okay, those are some loaded terms. Let's break that down a bit.
It's not about taking sides. It's about looking at the facts, like women entering the workforce, no-fault divorce, the focus on individual fulfillment.
Those are all huge changes that have definitely impacted marriage.
And the book's point is that men need to adapt to these new realities.
It's a different world than the one our dads grew up in.
Exactly. And it requires a shift in mindset, moving away from those traditional gender roles towards a more collaborative partnership.
A true partnership of equals.
Exact. So it's not about going back to the old ways. It's about finding a new way forward.
One that works for both partners.
Right. One that honors commitment, love, respect, but in a way that's relevant to our lives today.
Okay, so communication is key. But let's get specific. What are some of the communication challenges the book addresses?
It talks about how men and women often communicate differently.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it. Sometimes it feels like we're from different planets.
Right. The book says men tend to be more direct, problem-solving focused, while women are more emotional and relational.
I definitely noticed that.
And those differences can lead to misunderstandings.
Big time.
But it's not about saying one style is better. It's about recognizing those differences and bridging the gap.
So learning to speak each other's language.
Exactly. The book suggests things like active listening, validating your partner's feelings, using I statements.
It's about creating that safe space where both people feel heard.
Right. And remembering that communication is ongoing. It's not a one-time fix.
It's a constant work in progress.
Exactly. Now, what about conflict? Because let's be real, every couple fights.
Oh, yeah. Conflict is inevitable. So how does the book handle that?
It says don't avoid conflict, see it as an opportunity.
An opportunity. For what?
Growth, deeper understanding.
Okay, that's a different way of looking at it. But how do you actually do that? Because in the moment, it's hard not to get defensive.
It takes effort. The book suggests taking a time out to cool down, really listening to your partner's perspective.
Instead of trying to score points.
Exact. And using those I statements again.
To express yourself without attacking.
Right. It's about finding a solution that works for both of you.
Not about who's right or wrong.
Exact. It's about strengthening the relationship.
So what about those times when you've tried all that and things still feel off? like the relationship is stuck.
The book talks about that too. It says you got to keep the spark alive.
That's a tough one, especially after years together.
Right, but it's not about recreating the honeymoon phase. It's about finding new ways to connect, to appreciate each other, to keep things exciting.
So being intentional about the relationship, not just coasting along.
Exactly. The book suggests date nights, new activities expressing appreciation, physical intimacy.
It's about making the effort to keep that connection strong.
Exactly, because a good relationship takes work, but it's so worth it.
Okay, so we've covered a lot. Covert contracts, communication, conflict, attraction. It's clear that building a strong marriage is a journey.
It is, but it's a journey worth taking.
And the book offers a lot of hope. It says when both partners are willing to put in the work, marriage can be incredibly fulfilling.
It's about creating a partnership based on mutual respect, love, and a shared commitment to growth.
That's beautiful. Now, before we move on, there's one more thing I wanted to touch on, fatherhood.
Ah, yes, the book has a lot to say about that.
Because being a dad is a huge part of a man's life.
It is. The book says it's a fundamental aspect of masculinity.
And it's about more than just providing financial.
Right, it's about being a role model, a mentor, a guide.
Showing your kids what a good man looks like.
Exactly. And it starts with being a good husband, creating a stable and loving home.
Because that's the foundation for everything.
Right. The book talks about communication, respect, shared values.
Building a family culture based on love and support.
Exactly. And it says when fathers are actively involved, it benefits everyone.
Kids, dads, the whole family.
Precisely. It's a win-win.
So we've covered a lot today. And I feel like we're just scratching the surface of this book.
Me too. There's so much more to explore.
But for now, I think we've laid a good foundation.
Definitely. We've covered some of the key principles and how they apply to building a strong and fulfilling marriage.
And for anyone who wants to dive deeper, you can find the Red Pill Dating Approach on Amazon Kindle and Google Play Books.
It's a must-read for any man who's serious about his relationship.
Absolutely. And on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this part of our deep dive.
Sounds good.
Okay, so we talked about all this deep stuff. But something I think a lot of guys struggle with is confidence, Especially when it comes to dating and relationship. Does the book talk about that?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's got a whole section on building confidence.
But how? Like, what's the approach? Is it all those cheesy affirmations?
Nope, not even close. It's way more practical. It starts with understanding your own value. Like, what do you bring to the table?
Okay, I see that. But how do you actually figure that out?
The book says identify your strengths, your skills, your accomplishments, big and small.
A personal inventory.
Right. Exactly. It's not about bragging. It's about recognizing what you have to offer.
So you're saying if you don't value yourself, no one else will.
Exact. Self-worth is the foundation of true confidence.
That comes from within.
Right. And then the book talks about setting goals, pushing yourself outside your comfort zone, developing your social skills.
So it's a combination of mindset and action.
Exact. And it takes time. Confidence isn't built overnight.
It's a process.
It is. Now, here's something you might not expect. A whole chapter on style and grooming.
Wait, what? Seriously? I thought this was a Red Pill book.
It is, but it says taking care of your appearance is a form of self-respect.
So it's not just about looking good. It's about feeling good.
Right. And projecting confidence.
Makes sense. So what kind of advice does it give?
Everything. Developing your personal style, grooming tips, finding clothes that fit well.
So looking sharp, basically.
But it's deeper than that. It's about finding a style that feels authentic to you, that makes you feel good about yourself.
I like that. Because when you feel good, you project that confidence.
Right. You attract people. You get noticed.
So it's all connected mindset, actions, appearance, like a whole package.
Exact. And that's what this book is really about. It's not just about techniques and tactics. It's about developing a whole new way of being.
A philosophy of life almost.
Yeah, you could say that. And it's about applying that philosophy to your relationship.
Building a strong marriage based on respect, shared values, and a commitment to growth.
Exactly. It's about becoming the best version of yourself.
And finding a partner who wants to do the same.
Right. It's a journey, but it's worth it.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive. I've learned a lot, and I think anyone listening can take something away from this.
Definitely. This book is packed with insights.
So if you want to learn more about the Red Pill dating approach, you can find it on Amazon Kindle and Google Play Books.
It's a game changer, for sure.
Thanks for joining me on this deep dive. It's been a pleasure.
Likewise. Until next time.